What's up, folks? What's up? What's up? Sorry, I had to stop. I'm just getting a little drink of water. All right, just making sure I was going to the right spot. Was writing down this video, typing it in. I'm back up to Oklahoma right now, and I'm picking up the Bonnie and the boys. We're headed back home tomorrow. I went storm chasing today. Went to over almost into Alabama, and now I'm headed back. So letting a few people hop on here real quick. I know it's a late night video session. I'm sitting here on the way back, and I made a post a minute ago, and it was like, and I honestly wonder, how do people like learning? You know, some people like learning different ways. Personally, for me, I know that I learn through pain. Now, not everybody learns through pain. Okay, some people will tell you, like, if you talk to them a certain way, rude, disrespectful, like, you're going to completely turn them off. With me, the more pain that I deal with, the harder it starts getting, the more that it hurts, the more I respond. And so the tougher the situation gets, or the meaner that my teacher gets in my face, like my drill instructors, and I guess that's really where it came from, like my drill instructors, the meaner that they got towards me, and the more terrible the situation seemed to be, crazier it got, the better I perform. And so some people are the complete opposite. Like Bonnie's the complete opposite. Bonnie, if you start talking bad to her, she's gonna shut down. She's not gonna deal with the BS. Me, I'll put up with a little bit more, actually a lot more, and actually I'll respond to a lot more than other people normally would. That's just me. With that being said, I put out a question a few minutes ago on the Facebook page and also on the Instagram channel, and it was, do you respond better to somebody that's trying to teach you, that may have a soft voice, very soft-spoken, does not like confrontation, is not loud, just an overall very soft-spoken person? Or do you respond and learn better from somebody who's loud, seems to be like an aggressive type personality, is very outspoken, is going to kind of tell you how it is, and it may come off as a little rude? Like, which one would you rather learn from? Because like I said, over the last couple of years, and really something that's changed during this quarantine and coronavirus time, is I've been able to go do the things that I've wanted to do personally in business, but two, it's allowed me to have some real conversations and some hard and tough conversations with people, whereas I felt like I couldn't do it before. Now I felt like it was a disservice if I didn't do that. Okay, so before now, a couple of examples, and I like giving examples. Like, if I'm going to tell you something, let me give you an example to go along with that. Before now, you know, I might, somebody tells me, Ryan, I've been doing business much longer than you. Like, I know, that this is how it's supposed to happen, and this is how it's supposed to go. Before now, I'm like, hey, no big problem, no big deal. I'm gonna agree with them. If they think that they know more, let them know more. Who are you to argue with somebody? And now I'm still not gonna argue, but now it's to the point, and I've grown to this point in business to where I'm saying, like, hey, well, actually, I understand that you have this, and this, you've met this requirement, or you have this qualification, but this is also what I know. Okay. Some other things another example, would be, somebody that, I'll just put out there, somebody that hasn't made as much money than me, trying to tell me about money, or about business. Somebody that hasn't been in business as long as me, and really, if you've been in business a shorter amount of time than I have, but know how to make more money, then I've got to listen to you, because you've done something right. You've done something that I haven't done. And so knowing these things and knowing that, one, we survived through a pandemic. We've survived through 4 to 6 weeks of them shutting business down, and we're still rocking and rolling and pushing through. I've been so humble the entire time in business, and my wife Bonnie has been so humble the entire time in business that in a way we might be holding back from helping you as clients. Sorry, I got to put this my chapstick on. My lips are killing me right now. My Carmex. So Bonnie and I know a lot, but we humble ourselves so we can make sure that that I never forget where I came from. But in doing so, I think what happens is I wind up holding information back from you as a client. I wound up not, providing as much information that I should have, possibly, because maybe I'm afraid of what you'll think if I tell you a little bit too hard or give you the answer a little bit too strongly, because I'm notorious for doing that. I am notorious for telling people just exactly how it is, and that's how it is, because I don't like beating around the bush that much. But because of that, and I've had people that don't like me doing that, it's something that I've kind of stopped doing. But over the last couple of weeks, I've had people ask me questions, and I've been able to be very, very direct, especially during this pandemic, during a time when people want to be told the truth straight up. They're like, Ryan, the worst has already happened. The economy isn't crashing. It's already crashed. Okay? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't love tap me. Like, tell me how it is. Tell me what's really going on. Tell me what should I really expect, and tell me how to really fix this issue. And so with people being vulnerable and coming to me and saying, Ryan, like, I want to know the answer. Don't sugarcoat it and don't bullshit me. Tell me exactly how it is. I've been able to tell people exactly how it is. And I've been able to tell people, like, look, you're living in a fairy tale world. You're doing X, Y, and Z wrong, and you need to cut that out and do this, this, and this. And because I've been able to do so, one, it makes me feel better because I get to be who I really am. Who is Ryan? Ryan's a United States Marine that has at one time led 30 plus Marines inside of his platoon with millions of dollars worth of government equipment in my responsibility. In my hands, I've needed to know where people are going. Marines are going back and forth. Okay, I've gone to the infantry inside of the Marine Corps as well. Like, I've done a lot that would give me a lot of confidence. And so I know how to lead people, and I know how to point people in the correct direction. But my leadership skills and abilities are a lot stronger in the being strong and direct and directly forward with things, instead of being standoffish. Now, somebody that's going to be more standoffish and listen twice as much as I do, that's going to be willing to sit there and work through problems even longer than I am, that's Bonnie, that's Kevin, that's Candace, that's Dawn. And I have had to train myself to do that. But the reason that I went out and found my sales team and my customer service team, and my clients team, and people that can go back and forth and do emails, is because I know there are people out there that have stronger traits in certain areas than I do. But one of the strong traits that I have is motivating you, telling you exactly how it is, telling the truth, even when it hurts. But I have a way of telling you the truth, even if it hurts, but delivering it in such a way to where you're like, oh, damn, like, I really get it. I got that. So for me, moving forward, I'm going to be doing a lot more direct approach, direct delivery, telling you exactly how it is. It's almost the same style as Ryan from back in 2016, but a lot more professional, but and a lot better answers, a lot more clarification, a lot more clarity. But I want to let you know that as we come out of this coronavirus, as this quarantine comes to an end, as we're allowed to go back to work this next week, and you're messaging the page and you're asking me questions, or I go live and you ask me a question, or you call in and you say, hey, I want to speak to Ryan, and Kevin tells you Ryan's busy right now, and you're like, I don't care, I want to speak to Ryan. Know that Kevin was trying to answer your call because I am busy running a multi-million-dollar company and taking care of thousands of clients. But if I get on the phone call with you and you ask me a question, I'm going to be very, very direct. I'm going to be very blunt about the answer. And it's not because I'm being rude. That's just because that's who I am. And that's the style that I know how to teach. And hopefully you don't take it offensive. But if you do get a little bit offended, just let me know and I'll break it down even further for you. But me, I'm used to giving you the answer quickly. I'm not the type of person to beat around the bush. I'm not the type of person to sit there, and if I don't know, I don't know. If I don't know, I'm going to go find the answer from somebody that does know within the company. And I'll just tell you hey, I don't know that question. It's typically because I don't deal with that, but here's the person that does know that. Okay. If we don't know within the company, I'll go find somebody outside of the company that knows it. Usually I know the answer though, but I'm going to get it out quickly because I got a million things going on. I don't want to forget, and I don't want to mess around with my time, and I don't want to disrespect your time either. So that's why I'm quick about things and I give quick answers, and I'm like, hey, did you do this? Yes or no? It's a yes or no answer. So know, folks, that when I do these things, it's not Ryan being rude, mean, disrespectful, or anything like that. No, that's just how I am. That's me being in my zone of genius for the way that I mentor, the way that I teach. And I'm going to be doing a lot of that coming out of here. We have come out of this coronavirus quarantine. We had to pivot and change directions, and it completely changed the way that we did business forever. Going forward, we will never do business the same again. And some of you are going to see over the next couple of weeks what I mean. I'm going to be teaching and doubling down on Merchant Fulfilled, which is us shipping you the products and you fulfilling the inventory for yourself, and then shipping it to the customer when it sells. Folks, I'm telling you, the future of Amazon and the future of e-commerce in general is you being able to do Merchant Fulfilled and being able to ship to the customer yourself. If you don't do that, you are shooting yourself in the foot. The reason that we have thrived, not been okay, not just barely survived, but thrived during this pandemic is because we had products on hand and we were able to switch from FBA to Merchant Fulfilled overnight. So to all you resellers out there who have, one, depended on Amazon FBA your entire career, and then two, just said, you know what, I'm only going to upload or buy inventory when I need to buy inventory. No need to have extra inventory. To those of you out there that have drop ship only, I hope this taught you an important lesson. To those of you out there that bought from AliExpress and Alibaba and bought from China only, I hope this taught you an important and a valuable lesson. To those of you that only had one supplier, I hope this taught you an important and valuable lesson. That you can't just be depending on one supplier, on one stream of income, on one place to get your products from. You've got to do this from many different places all the way across the board. Okay, so for us, we have multiple different suppliers. I'm not just buying from one supplier, okay? I'm not just buying from Macy's, Dillard's, and Bloomingdale's. We're getting our products from other places as well. Because guess what? If these big box retailers decide to shut down, I'd be dead in the water if I wasn't using somebody else. So we also have other suppliers, and pretty soon, what I'd like to do is do some manufacturing ourselves as well, so that way we can manufacture products in-house, okay? I've watched places like, I think, Ford, and GM, if I'm not mistaken, overnight turn their manufacturing facilities into making PPE equipment. And I'm like, wow, okay? Once you got it, you got it. Business is the same all the way across the board, no matter if you're making cars or you're making face masks for nurses. It's all the same all the way across the board, okay? So know that Ryan moving forward gonna be super, super direct, especially the way I see it. I've got like 4 to 6 weeks that I've got to do like double and triple work because I've got to catch up for. I've got clients that we've got to do work and catch up for. I see an opportunity right now. People are still buying, and so I'm trying to buy more products, list more products, get more clients' brand approvals. Like, there's a lot that we got going on right now. So when you call in and you happen to get me on the phone, know that I'm talking quickly, I'm answering your questions, and I'm getting you taken care of because I'm trying to run this business. If you got questions, and especially if you're new, like sometimes it's hard for you to understand if you're new. Like when I'm new at certain things, especially like storm chasing. Perfect example. I went storm chasing today. I ran around for like 6 hours out there in the same area. And if I would have just sat there for 1 more hour or less in the same spot, I would have been right on a big tornado today. But I gave up a little bit too soon, and I started heading for the house and missed out on all the big storms late this afternoon and early this evening. Nobody else's fault but my own, okay? That's my fault, but it's also because I'm new. Now, had I been, on the phone with Reed Timmer or Val Castor or some of these other storm chasers, they would have been like, Ryan, you dumbass! I told you multiple times that the storms are gonna take time to set up. Don't give up. Do as I say, okay? If I would have been on the phone with them, that's what they would have said. Because I did exactly as I knew I shouldn't have, and I gave up an hour before I should have. I should have stayed right there where the models told me to stay and did what was required for me to see storms, and I would have done it. But I veered off because I'm new and I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm a little bit unsure, and so therefore I went and did my own thing, and I was disappointed, but I also realized that I have nobody to blame but me. And that won't happen as the weeks, months, and the years progress, because I'll learn. I'll know, like, hey, don't give up. Remember what happened this time and this time and this time ago? Like, I'll remember to keep on going, okay? But if I would have had somebody right then that would say, hey, Ryan, stop, turn around, go back to where you're coming from, like, stick to the plan, I would have been just fine. But that's what it takes for me sometimes for it to get through to my head. But that's just me, and that's how I learn. So I want to know how you learn. Like, what type of learner are you? Are you somebody that learns from somebody like being real quick and on you? Or are you somebody that like you have to like sit back, have no stress, no pressure, and you have to like, it has to be kind of slower for you and not as intense. I want to know how you are and what type of client you are and how you react to teaching, because everybody's different. Not everybody's the same. My style of teaching, my style of mentoring and relaying information to you is not going to be for everybody. It's not a one size fits all. As much as I would like it to be, some people, I'll have to be honest, probably can't stand Ryan or Wholesale Universe or our products and services and the way that we do business and the way that we teach. It's not meant for everybody. Just like drop shipping, that's not my cup of tea. It's not what I like doing. Private label, it's not what I like doing. Now, Bonnie does like private label. Bonnie does like white label. She likes doing those things along with what we already do. I don't, okay? So even in the same household, there's different beliefs and different agreements, even over e-commerce, right? So the way that Bonnie feels is not always necessarily the way that I feel, even in our household with e-commerce. And so I don't expect everybody in the world to like my business model, the way that I teach, the way that I do business, all right? But I am catering to those that do, and I do try to open it up. Like, I have tried to go from being an introvert to an extrovert and teaching, and some of that teaching is, maybe not doing live videos, but also doing recorded videos, so that way they're like evergreen. They come back over and over and over. They're good forever. And I put them inside of our Wholesale Universe training guide, the Amazon training guide and the resellers training guide. So there will be much more of this coming. There's much more of these live videos coming. There's much more of these training videos coming, but I'm wanting to give you more content, and I'm wanting to be, I don't want to say more authentic because I've always been authentic, but I do want to kind of open up and be more Ryan, which Ryan is more hardcore, aggressive, direct, to the point, but I feel like I get my point across much quicker that way, and I can teach much easier because I'm not having to worry, about saying the right thing or saying it the right way. I'm just saying it the way that I want to say it. So I'm going to try this, and Bonnie, she's probably going to be like, Ryan, don't do that. Go back to teaching the way that you were teaching. But I'm going to try to be 100% comfortable, almost as if I was walking in my pajamas into work. All right. So anyways, I'm going to get off here. I don't have long until I'm up here at the in-laws. I'm going to hang out with Bonnie and Jimmy, come home with the kids tomorrow and Bonnie tomorrow. Governor Abbott should be opening us up for business this week. Now understand that when we get open back up, it's going to be not a slow process. We're going to hit the ground running, but it's going to take some time for us to get completely 100% open back up, fully operational, functional, and get caught back up as well, okay? Because we also have got to get caught back up from being off for the last 4 to 6 weeks as well and being shut down. So be flexible with us. We're going to be flexible with you. We're flexible with everything across the board right now. And we're going to make sure to get you taken care of, and we'll be back on track in no time, and we'll have you back on track in no time. But folks, if you want to get ahead, this is the time to get ahead. You may have to get a little bit uncomfortable. Not may, you will have to get a little bit uncomfortable. In order to get ahead, you have to get uncomfortable. Another example, when I go chase these storms, I can watch the storm come in and it's perfect. I get to see the shelf cloud. I get to see it get dark. I get to see the lightning. I get to see the convection, the spinning of the storm. I get to see everything. And then it goes over me and passes me, and then it starts raining. And it's moving very fast, sometimes 50 and 55 and 60 miles an hour. So what do I have to do? I have to turn around, get back on the interstate, and hook it down the road and drive twice as fast to get back ahead of the storm. Well, the same thing happens for you as well, and for me in business too, okay? When I may be looking at everything and it's great, but once it passes over me, once that storm is over the top of me, I've got to double time it and book it and get back ahead of that storm if I want to see what I want to see. Okay? Well, you have to do the same thing. Okay? You're spending money, spending time, and you see the sales coming for you, just like those wall clouds that I see coming for me. And then all of a sudden, I see the sales that I want to see, and then they're gone. Well, what happens? Well, I've got to go race through that storm, buy more inventory, drop my prices, add keywords, do SEO. I've got to do what's required, liquidate some inventory, sell on other platforms. I've got to do what's required to get back ahead of that storm. Well, that's the same thing with your Amazon business or your e-commerce business and reselling business in general. You got to spend some money, spend some time, spend some quality resources on getting back ahead once sales have started to dip a little bit. It's no different. Okay, so I want to help you in business, and I'm going to continue to help you in business by bringing you more stories, more examples, and more live videos like we're doing right now. And I'm going to be very, very direct. And sometimes it may hurt you a little bit, but you're going to learn from it. We're going to learn together, and we're going to grow together. All right, folks, I'm getting off of here. Y'all have a great night. Be safe. This is my last live video of the night, and I'll be up at my in-laws here in a few minutes, back to Bonnie and the kids and Jimmy and Papa and Gigi. All right, y'all have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Be safe.